Hey, Glam Fam, I'm going to teach you about my systems for keeping track of my communication with my contacts and layering people and all of that because layering is like key in your business. You're going to hear me say that over and over and over again because the average person needs to be exposed to something about 7 times before it like actually clicks, which is not always the case for everything. Like obviously someone doesn't need to try the product, hear about the product 7 times before they're going to decide to purchase a skincare set. They don't have to hear the opportunity 7 times before they decide like, this looks amazing, I want to join you in business. So that does not mean that everybody needs to hear things 7 times, but there are a lot of people that need to kind of just be re-exposed to things. If they're not the type of person that just makes a decision and goes for something, sometimes they just have to be exposed to things more often. And so the biggest mistake we can make in our businesses is exposing someone to something once. Like you're like exposing them ish. Like you do an appointment with them, whether it's virtual or it's in person, or they attend like a she show or a scan social or something. You just invite them once, and then maybe you even close them, but that's it. Like, and maybe like great, like a good scenario is like you close them, they purchase the product, they got a skincare set or something from you, but then that was all you did with them. You just were like, okay, cool, see ya. So that's not good, but also just inviting someone to something once or having them try something once and maybe they didn't purchase anything at the time and then just forgetting about them, like you are losing out on that contact because sometimes people just need to be re-exposed to something over and over again. Because if you think of anything like in life, like trends, whether it's clothing or home decor or anything, like any trends, they become a trend because people get exposed to them over and over again, and then you start to like it and you're like not sure if it's you actually like it or if it's just because you see it all over the place and now you think that you need that. But that's how that works, is that we are exposed to something over and over and over again and it catches on. And so you want to keep yourself and your business and what you have to offer in front of the people that you are already working with. You don't want to just expose them once or ish and then be on your way. So here is how I keep track of my communication, especially with our virtual world right now. We have so many ways to layer people much faster than we did like in the past when we weren't doing things on Zoom and as many Facebook lives and like those kind of events. So right now we're able to invite people to things more closer together and expose them faster than if we just invited someone to something in person and then we waited like 6 months and invited them something else again. Like the closer you expose them together, the more results you're going to get, the more they're going to purchase, the faster they're going to sign up if that's the path that God has for them. And so having them that exposure multiple times but closer together is key. So that was why really we created the She Show, was to give you that ability for them to be able to plug into things multiple times and in the same setting. So I'm going to show you how I track contacts. Let's see, screen share. Okay, so you're going to see something like this. This is my contact tracking and layering spreadsheet. I created a generic one for you guys so that you can duplicate it. So once you hit this make a copy button, it's going to open up into your own tracking sheet. So this will now open into your Google Drive. So this is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. You can change everything out, move things around, change the font, change the color, whatever you want to do, it's yours. It doesn't affect mine. I just created like a generic one so you guys didn't have to start from scratch. So what mine looks like is I put the contact's name here. So everybody that I'm, excuse me, communicating with, I'm putting their name here. And then have they attended a she show? Like, yes, I put the date that they attended the she show. Have they attended a scan social? Yes, here's the date they attended the scan social. Same with lipstick leadership. Did they do a leadership training session with you and I? Like, yes, or put the date or whatever. Have they tried the product either with the pamper pack you mailed them or samples you dropped off, or they were with you in person? Have they tried the product? Any notes you want? Now, here's the thing with this is like they can attend multiple leadership and lipstick events lives because it's a different speaker every week. So you can put in here how many times, like the dates of each one that they've watched, if you want to keep track of that. Scan social she show. So here's the thing with the she show, like, did they actually participate in the she show? That's one difference between you just invited them and, you know, they never even looked at a single post, or did they actually participate? Did they attend the scan social the week of the she show? Same with the lipstick and leadership. So if they attended the she show, they participated, but maybe they didn't watch the scan social, then you can then say like the next week, like they don't have to attend a whole she show again. You can just invite them to a scan social separately and be like, hey, you still have your scan for attending that she show. Let's get you scheduled for a social so we can walk you through how to do it. If she can't, if it's not working out for her to attend a scan social on Tuesday nights, but you want to get together with her one-on-one, either in person or virtually, and help her with the scan, then you can get together with her and do that. What you do not want to do is you don't want to say, here's the scan app, go try it out. Let me know if you have questions. Like, you are totally missing the opportunity if you're just having people download the scan app and letting them scan themselves, and you are not using that as a booking tool. That is why it was created, to give you a reason to connect with them, to walk them through the product, for them to get to experience the product or get to watch someone else experience it on a scan social, for them to see all the recommendations. Like, if you are not doing it with them like in person, or like live together, or they're not on a scan social, you're not going to get all of the results that you want out of that tool. And that is a really important tool that we have. So please do not just like say, here you go, here's the scan, go do it, and then not connect with them and do it with them. And so I always present it as, we have this scan, and so it's important that I walk you through it and I show you how to read and understand your results. It can be kind of confusing, and so I'd always do it with them, either on a scan social or one-on-one in a different setting. Okay, so if they didn't attend the scan social during their she show, then getting them scheduled for the next one, because they don't have to be attending a she show in order to attend a scan social. There are some consultants who have attended multiple scan socials because we do a giveaway during every live event. And so sometimes they're just in it for the free stuff, which is totally fine. So you could put each date that they're attended scan social if you want to, but this just helps you track like the interaction with them. And you will see a trend in the people who are attending all of these things, like how much they're buying from you, and how quickly they signed up, if that's the direction they're headed. So but if you're working with someone, you're like, oh, I invited them to a she show once but never did anything else with them, well, then that gives you that next step with them. Like, make sure that they got in a scan social, make sure they attended a lipstick and leadership, that they did a leadership training session with us, all the ways that you can layer them and utilize that person. Which is a nice thing about the she shows, is we kind of incorporated the scan social into, like, in the lipstick leadership into the scan social. And so what I've been hearing from people who have attended the she shows is that they like it, that everything is all together, because then they're not saying like, hey, attend this thing, and hey, attend this thing, and hey, attend this thing. But really, when you already have that communication going with them, it's so easy to say, you know what, I feel like you would really love this. Like, you should attend this. Or, I'm in a contest to have 5 guests onto the lipstick and leadership tonight. Could I count on you to be one of those people. Whatever, however you want to position it to them, but utilizing the people you're already communicating with, because I think we make the mistake of thinking like, I'm just going to invite them to one thing. Like I'm asking too much of them to invite them to more. But if they really like it and they're happy, and you know, the people that are like, they could care less. They don't want anything to do with skincare or whatever, like none of this is interesting to them, then they're probably someone they are not going to layer. But if there's someone that's like, that has questions, or they're interested in skincare, they're interested in makeup, like they're going to want to attend all these different things. It might not always work out when you're asking them to, but not forgetting to circle back and touch base with them again, because otherwise what happens is we introduce it to them once, and then like we don't ever talk to them about it again, and then they always had it in the back of their mind like, oh, I do, you know, that product did look really good, or I'm thinking about it, or I'm thinking about starting a business, that the opportunity would really benefit me. Like they're having these thoughts, but if we're not giving them another exposure to it and connecting with them again, then someone else is going to ask them a few months down the road, and they've had no communication any further with you about it, and then they're going to go to that event with that person, and that's when they're going to decide like, okay, I think I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to buy the miracle set, or I'm ready to sign up and become a consultant. And they're going to do it with that consultant. And if you have not been continuously serving and touching base with and connecting with that person, then she is not really fully a client of yours, and it's okay for the consultant to do that. Now, if you had been in consistent communication and had been servicing her, then another consultant obviously would never sell product to her or sign her up. But if you just invited her one thing one time like that, she's fair game. Okay, so you want to make sure that you stay in her life, that you are there, because sometimes we just think like, oh, they know that I do this, if they want something they'll come to me. But I mean, how many times do we know people who are in other businesses that we might be interested in purchasing something from them, and like we're interested in their product or whatever it is that they have to offer, and then someone else offers it over here. Like I've been to multiple Norwex parties, and I've bought things from different people, and book parties and things like that. And if I had a consultant though that was like, I'm your girl, like I am here to take care of you, I'm the one that's going to continue reaching out to you and servicing you, you're going to get my emails, you're going to get my catalogs, you're going to, like, then that's my person, that is who I would always go to. And so you want to be that person for them. Okay, so that is why layering is so important. And then going into tracking for the She Show. So I'm going to stop sharing for just 1 second. And I'm going to pull up the She Show guest tracking. Okay, so this is the second tracking sheet, that system that I use to track people I'm consistently communicating with. So this is the She Show guest tracking. So I made a generic version for you guys. So again, you would hit the make a copy button, and it's going to pull this tracking sheet up for you. And then this is your tracking sheet. So just like the other ones, this is going to open up. So it'll show up in your Google Drive as copy of She Show guest tracking, just like the other one is going to show up as copy of contact tracking and layering, or whatever I titled that. So, and then you can change it to whatever you want it to be. But so this is what I'm doing for my She Show guest tracking, because there's so many things you want to do with people during the She Show that you really want to like be on top of your communication with people. Like please, 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 please do not invite someone to a She Show and then like not talk to them the whole time and just hope that they engage. Like that is not going to work. Do not waste the She Show on people that you've just invited and you didn't communicate with them, and you didn't make sure that they were getting on the lives, because this is like the easiest way to get them layered really quickly. Because the people who attend everything that they did, they did the She Show, whether they actually engaged in the posts or not, like sometimes they are really great at that, sometimes that's not their personality. That part I've found is not really a factor. But the people who attend the Scan Social, the people who attend the Leadership and Lipstick, like those are the people who sign up, like the people who they were layered really quickly in a small amount of time. And that is the point of a she show. Okay. So what you're going to do here is you're going to, I'm going to change this on the generic copy so it won't. There you go. Okay. I'll tell you why I did that in a second. So the name of the person, the guest that you've invited, okay? And then you're able to have people be at one of the She Show socialites. So that means like she's a hostess. So she's not only attending the She Show, she's attending the She Show with friends. And the beautiful thing about this when we do our group She Shows is that say she doesn't have a huge inner circle to invite. Maybe she's only got like 10 people. And usually it's like 20, 30 people or more that make a really good She Show as far as having energy of people interacting with stuff. So if she's only going to have 10 in there, only a few are probably going to interact, which isn't the end of the world, but it's not the same kind of energy as we see in our group She Shows. So she can be a She Show socialite and she can invite guests into the group She Show that we have going on. And then you're going to get those names and numbers of all of those guests because that is important. You don't want her just inviting guests into the group and you don't even know who their guests are because her guests are your guests. So with all the people you've personally invited and then the people that are attending the She Show with a friend, you're going to put the name of their socialites. The socialite's either going to be you or it's going to be the name of the hostess that invited them. Okay. Then you're tracking when you're inviting people because you're going to send messages out to her guest list along with her to like make sure that they've got the details that they've been invited because they want communication with you because they're going to know you as their consultant. So you're going to put a check mark. So what I do is I just copy this little X here and I am pasting. Okay, so I've contacted that person. So this is Susie. She is attending Kelly She Show. So Kelly is her hostess. I've sent her a message. I've made sure that she is in the She Show group because just because you invited them to the group does not mean that they actually saw the notification or that they actually clicked on the link that you sent them. So circling back saying, hey, I don't see you in the group yet. You want to make sure that you're in there in order to be able to take advantage of all the rewards. Everybody attending is automatically going to get a free scan technology to download, which is really cool because really the only other place to get that is a dermatologist. Like, so anyway, you are circling back, making sure she is in the group. So now she's in the group. So you're putting that X there. Obviously you can do whatever you want. Like you can put the date or, however you want to track it. This is just what I do. Okay. So Friday, you're sending the Friday message out to them, right? So the Friday message is like, welcome. That's the one where you're sending that image that explains like there's the 2 lives, tells them what date is what theme. And then letting them know that the She Show officially kicks off on Monday, but that there are some pre-show posts that are going to take place over the weekend and that they can communicate, like they can comment on, and that puts them in the early bird drawing. So we're going to do a giveaway on Monday out of everybody who communicated over the weekend, right? So that is that message you're sending out to them. So you've sent that to them. So these are all going to kind of be like checked off first. And then on Monday, the Monday of the She Show, you're sending the message about, hey, tomorrow is going to be the skin scan live. I'm so excited for you to experience the scan. So you know that I have the She Show instructions thing that I typed up for you, right? Like in all of its glory and detail. Like it tells you exactly what to do when. It gives you the script to use. All you're doing is copying and pasting it to your guests. So you just follow along in that order. So you have that. This is just your tracking sheet to help you remember, especially if you've got like 3 or 4 hostesses who each have, 10, 15 people that have joined the She Show, right? Like you want to make sure, like, did I talk to them yet? Did I communicate with them? Whatever. I also add them on Facebook. So that might be another column you could put in here. And to make another column, you just go insert to the right, Facebook friend, whatever you've added them. Because now they're your contact, right? You're going to be your client, your guest. So obviously if you invited them, you probably are already their friend. But if it's their guest, you want to make sure you are in their life. You are officially your Facebook official friends. Okay, so the Monday message, you've sent that about, hey, just giving you a heads up that tomorrow is going to be the live. It's going to be really exciting. You want to send that message out on Monday to give them that heads up. Then on Tuesday is when you are sending them the app to download. Okay, so they are going to, and the reason I wait till Tuesday, the day of the Scan Social, to send them the app is because I don't want them playing with it too early. I want them to just get the app, and then I tell them tonight, you will scan yourself and I will show you what to do. We will show you during the live. So hopefully they're not even really playing with it. They're just downloading the app. So that's the Tuesday message, which again, I have it all typed up for you so you can copy and paste it. You're also informing them that they're going to want to watch the live, like on a computer or a tablet or their husband's phone or something. So that way they can use their phone to scan themselves. So I give them those tips, and then I make sure that they are, tell them to comment, interact, because we're going to do a giveaway at the end. So that's the Tuesday message. Then you want to make sure that they are in the beautification group. So that's the other thing, is like the link that we send them on Monday, the Monday message is the link to the beautification group. And it tells them, like, go ahead and join the event. I call it joining the event, even though it is technically a group, because it sounds like less of a commitment if I'm just saying the event versus like, go join this other group, whatever. So I just tell them to join the beautification event ahead of time. So you want to go in, make sure that they are in that group and that they understand that that's where the live is going to take place. So you're doing that. Then I like to send people a 30-minute reminder before the scan. Like, we are busy, things happen, time goes by fast, and we forget, like, it's so easy to miss something that was scheduled, especially something virtual that you're not having to like leave to go to. Because if you leave to go somewhere, like they're going to come meet you at your house or whatever, or studio, like they've already, like, they're preparing that they need to leave by a certain time, and they have to just watch something virtually and they don't have to leave their house. It's so easy for that time to go by and they're like, oh shoot, I missed it. So that's 30-minute scan reminder. I also have that typed up in the instructions for you, just to copy and paste. So there you go. You can mark all those off. And then you're going to mark off that they attended the social, because not all your guests are going to actually attend. Some of them are going to say they're going to attend and then they don't. Like, that's just how it's going to be. But you can keep track for yourself in your records. These are the people that actually attended. And then you can kind of follow up with the people that didn't attend and let them know that they can watch the replay and they'll still get credit if they watch the replay before the She Show ends. So it's way better for them to watch the live. They're going to be able to go in the live giveaway if they're watching live. It's just way more fun. But if they can't, or they forgot, or whatever, don't stress about it. But just having that communication with them. Then the Thursday message, so there's no communication on Wednesday unless they're asking you questions or whatever. Thursday, you are sending them that message, just reminding them that, hey, tonight's the live where you can go into the drawing for the Kate Spade bag. You're going to love it. The speaker's amazing. It's going to be, like, you can personalize this message you want to. Like, I feel like you're going to have some takeaways that are going to be able to apply to your business or your job or your family or whatever, like just stuff that is not necessarily only for Mary Kay people to hear, but it can benefit anybody in all walks of life. So if you want to personalize that message a little more, you absolutely can. But just remind them that, hey, that's tonight. Then making sure that they are in the Lipstick and Leadership group, just like you did with the beautification group, make sure they're actually in the group. You are sending them in this message the link to go join the Lipstick and Leadership event. But just making sure, like going in. So I always go into the beautification group and Lipstick and Leadership group and I add them into it once I send them I don't add them into it until I send them the message that has the link. Because if at the beginning of the She Show, you're trying to add them to all three groups, that is gonna be so confusing because they're gonna be like, wait, where's the She Show taking place? So I don't invite them into that group until I've sent them a message about it. But I go into the group, I invite them, and then I make sure that they're actually in there. So there you go, there's that tracking. And then the 30-minute reminder, just like with the Scan Social. Did they actually attend? Keeping track of that for yourself, having them watch the replay if needed. And then Friday's message is just like that. Hey, thanks so much for attending the She Show. You have through this weekend to catch up on all of the posts and any of the replays that you want to catch up on to be able to go into the giveaways we're going to do on Monday. We're going to do multiple giveaways on Monday. So you've got time for that. And then the Monday message is like closing them. So all of these scripts are again in the She Show instructions, so that you can find that and know what to say when. But this will just help you keep track of that communication, who you've talked to. And also, like, say they didn't attend a Scan Social and they're not going to watch the replay or whatever. Like, that's a great way to say, like, hey, next week or whenever the next Scan Social is, we're doing another one of those. I know you didn't get a chance to get scanned during the She Show, but it's such an awesome experience and I'd love for you to be able to do that. How about this coming Tuesday or whatever? Or if Tuesdays just didn't work for them, then saying like, hey, would you want to get together tomorrow and I'll walk you through it on Zoom, or I'll come over or whatever. It gives you kind of a way to visually see who you still need to scan, because then when you go back to this tracking, you're able to put on there like that they were scanned or that they attended Lipstick and Leadership. So you're using those two trackings kind of hand in hand. So this is just specifically for the She Show. And what I like to do is I have my tracking sheet like this. I go down to the tab here where it says sheet 1, and I will rename it the date of that She Show. So like the She Show that's running right now is June 21st through June 25th. So you would just name it. And then you can take a duplicate and then you would just delete everything in there. So, or you could have like what I do is like I have a master copy, and that's the one I duplicate that doesn't have all of this stuff down here. It just has this top one. And that way you don't have to delete things when you do it. But anyway, you would just rename this then to the next week. So that way I've got all of my She Show weeks all in one tracking sheet. So I don't have this like really long, forever, ever, never ending tracking sheet of all the She Show participants. I have them broken down by weeks. So that is how I do the tracking sheets for tracking these She Show people. Obviously other tips system wise is just communicating with your people all week long, commenting on the posts, like, hey, I know that this is something that I feel like you would really enjoy, or we were just talking about liquid eye colors, and so here's a great video of them or whatever, and like just tagging some of your people, and don't tag all your people in every single post. Obviously that would be annoying for multiple reasons, but tagging individual people on posts, because then it's like anything you can do to individually build that relationship with them. They feel connected to you. Like I've had such great feedback from people that are like, they feel like they're my best friend, or they just feel like that we're great friends, or they just feel like they connected with me so well. And they've never met me before. They've never even heard my voice. They're just, we're just communicating through Messenger and through comments on the posts. But that relationship is so important to people. I do actually use my voice. I voice memo a lot in messages and stuff to people, just because I feel like that is like just adds more of a personal touch in some of the messages when I'm talking to people. So whether you're inviting them or you're just communicating to them about the She Show, like anytime you can use a voice memo is super beneficial. So if you wanted to, instead of sending some of those scripts to them, just record things, like you could do that. That would take more time. But but if some of the people, like if you feel like that they would respond better to that, then do that. Okay, there you go. I think that was all that I wanted to cover for tracking systems. If you have questions, reach out. I'm happy to help. But I hope that these systems help you.